Okay, so welcome back. We're going to continue on with lesson 1.2, obfuscate JavaScript on an HTML page. We know that JavaScript will be executed on the client side. Thus, it is critical to protect our JavaScript code from being copied or redistributed by others. Obfuscation is a good way to achieve this goal. So we're going to write another simple JavaScript function that we will use on an HTML page. We're going to type out touch my underscore JavaScript.js in the terminal window, and we're going to press enter. And as always, we have to double check to make sure that the file was created. So we're going to type out ls to list the contents of this folder, and you can see it's right there next to the server.js that we created before. The HTML page has been written, and you can check the content by using the cat index.html command. When I hit enter, you can see all the HTML syntax available inside that file. But we're going to edit it in the text editor Nano. So to do that, we're going to type in Nano space my underscore JavaScript.js and hit enter, and that'll open up our text editor window. And in that text editor window, we need to type out the following code in step 3, starting with function addition. I'm going to go ahead and type that out. Pause the video for a second and just show you guys the end results. Okay, now since I got that all typed out, I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick review. It's looking good so far. I don't think I have any issues with any of the color coding, so that means a lot of that text is typed out appropriately. Alright, now on to step 4. Now let's test our web page in the terminal window. Oh, first actually we gotta save this. So we gotta hit Control S to save the file, and then Control X to close it. And back at the terminal window, we're now going to type out Python space, Python 3 space -m http.server, and then hit enter, and this will start the HTTP server. And as you can see, this one is set up for port 8000. So we're going to check and make sure that works. Just like we did in the last exercise, we're going to right-click on the Firefox icon, select Open a New Private Window, and in the address bar we're going to type in localhost, but this time we're going to type in port number 8000. Hit enter, and as you can see, it already gives us fields for our first number and our second number that you saw in the code. And we're just going to test this out to make sure it works. So on step 6, it says go ahead in the first field, type out 2, and in the second field, type out 4. And then we're going to select show results, and it should add the 2 so that it would equal 6. Something failed in my code. I have to go back and edit that. Alright, so let's close this out. Let's figure out what I did wrong. I'm going to end this. Stop the server by hitting Control C. I'm going to open up my JavaScript Nano in the text editor, my underscore JavaScript.js. I probably didn't close the code. Yeah, I can see there. After this section here, I think there's supposed to be a close brace here. Let me double check that. Yep, that close brace was supposed to be there. So I'm going to go back and save this. Control S. Control X to exit. We're going to run that again, typing out Python 3 space -m space http.server. Rerun that server, and then check it out again on the web page. Make sure this time it's functioning properly. Localhost, 8,000. Hit enter. There's the first number field. Hit 2. Second number field, 4, and then show results. There you go. I hate it when you miss something when you're writing out code, especially after I double checked it already. Alright, so now we're on step 7. We're going to right click on any blank white space on this web page, and we're going to get an option to view the source code. And in this source code, we're going to see a link on here for our script that we had created, the my_javascript.js right here at the bottom. And then when we click on that, you can basically see the code that we had created and what makes it function. So we kind of want to hide that a little bit using our obfuscation option. So we're going to go back to the terminal. In case you're following along, you're not sure where we're at. We're down here by number 9. We're going to stop this server by hitting Control-C on the terminal window. And then on step 10, we're going to go ahead and we're going to obfuscate our JavaScript. So to do that, we're going to type out JavaScript-obfuscator space my_JavaScript, because that's the one we're working with, space -- output space my op JavaScript.js. And make sure I spelled that all right. That looks good. I'm going to hit enter. And it's obfuscating our file. And then we're going to double check to make sure it did as it says it is. I'm going to type out cat and space my_obfu JavaScript.js. Hit enter. And there you have it. It's all jumbled up into pieces. Now we're going to open up the index.html in the text editor. And to do that, you just type out nano space index.html, press enter. And in the nano editor, we're going to use the arrow keys to move the cursor to the third line from the bottom. And we're going to look for the name of our JavaScript. So it's right over here. There it is. I'm going to change it to my_obfu JavaScript.js, because now we're going to use that obfuscated file name. Okay. I'm going to save the file by selecting Control-S and then Control-X to exit. Now we've replaced it with the obfuscated file. Back at the terminal, we now need to restart our HTTP server. And to do that, we're going to again type out Python 3 space -m space http.server and then hit enter. And then we're going to double check it on our local host. So we're going to open up Firefox again in a private window. In the address bar, type out localhost :8000. Hit enter. Just going to double check to make sure this is working. 2, 6. Show results. 8. Looks good. Now we're going to double check our page source. So we're going to right click in blank wide open space of the page. On the drop down, we're going to select view page source. And here we go. You can see our source. Here's our JavaScript. Click on that. You can see it all jumbled out. Now if you want to see it in just one long line, you're just going to right click in a blank white space of that page and then select Wrap Long Lines. And that'll uncheck that and place it all on one line of code. Congratulations, you now know how to obfuscate to protect your intellectual property. You can close Firefox and press Ctrl+C in the terminal window to stop the HTTP server. And then you can leave the terminal window and proceed to the next task. So come back again for our next video when we go over lesson 2, dead code injection.